So I think everybody's had enough time. It's 4 minutes past the hour. Let's get started. And well, first of all, I want to say thanks to everyone who's come out, because this particular webinar, I have had more people register than I've ever had in 6 years of my career. Now, I've been doing webinars for like 3. I did them pretty heavily for a little while, but this one has by far the most people. It was just like big difference. So I want to thank you for registering and coming out. And I hope I just deliver, the value to your expectation. And I hope you walk away with a lot of good information. That's my goal here. So with that said, let's move forward. I don't like to spend much time beating around the bush. Let's get moving. If you don't know who I am Jaye Carden. I have the website, jayecarden.com. I'm in the network marketing industry, of course, and I've been doing this since April 11th, 2012. That's when I got into my first network marketing opportunity. I've learned a lot about it, and I love sharing what I learned with others, especially people on my team. But on this particular webinar, this is for anybody in any company. You can take this information, apply it to what you're doing, and, pull out some signups. Because once you get the hang of this, it's not that hard. It's about consistency. It's not that hard. But I've managed to sign up, 1 to 3 people every week for a year straight. I was able to sometimes sign up 24 people in under 3 weeks. I've had, spurts where I had a lot of signups, but it's what everybody wants to be able to do. But there's a reason they're not doing it, and I want to share with you how to do that. So know that I know what I'm talking about. What I'm going to tell you does indeed work. I've done it. I've tried it. It works. Okay. I don't want to give you too much of a backstory because that's boring, right? Let's get into the content. What we're going to learn tonight, of course, naturally, my personal blueprint to getting 1 to 3 signups every single week. And I'm telling you every single week because, yes, there was more than 3 in a week. It was rare. Sometimes there were. And when it begins to duplicate, that's when it really gets good. If everybody could do 1 to 3 a week, you have a huge empire quick. It starts slow and it gets faster when more people are able to do what you do. So I'm going to share with you how I did it. I'm also going to show you how to get people reaching out to you wanting to join your business. I think that's what I'm going to share with you is really, really important. And if you want to hit that part, everybody wants people coming to them. Absolutely. They're always, I want people to come to me, but they don't know how to do it. So I want to show you how to get them coming to you. It's really not that hard. It's more of a patient type game. I'm going to go over some daily action steps to help increase your exposure. I'm going to show you how to create that duplication inside of your own team. And that's huge. If you can get duplication going, you can succeed. Because believe it or not, doing 1 to 3 a week just yourself, yeah, it's good. It'll make you some money, but the real big money may take years and years to come. You got to have others doing it too. And it only takes a couple to change everything. And also, if you stay until the end, this is going to be roughly an hour. I want to show you how to get prospects for the rest of your life without ever having to put money into them. If you've purchased leads online, I would stop personally. I don't buy them. I don't use them. I have used them. I don't like buying leads online. So I want to show you how you can get good leads, good quality prospects without having to pay over and over and over to get prospects. There's no return on investment that way. So we're going to go through all that. Stay till the end. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, where to begin? In this webinar, I actually changed my mind about how to go about it because there's quite a few ways I could share and present this. So I decided I'm going to present it as if I were brand new. If this is my first day in network marketing, I'm brand new. Where do I begin? And I'll, share with you the formula I use so you can copy that. But if I had this when I first started, things would be way better today. This has been 6 years in the making and putting together, and I'm going to present it to you in a just an easy to grasp kind of idea. So you'll get the basic idea of how you're going to build this empire in your network marketing business, of course, whatever company that may be. So I want to start as if I were brand new. What would I do right off the bat if I were brand new? Well, there's two parts of marketing to learn. All right. And when you're brand new, you don't know this. This may seem common sense, but understanding this really does make a difference. And number one is active marketing. That's the first thing you got to understand. Active marketing is really important inside network marketing. And that's simply where you reach out to a known individual and ask them directly if they're open to taking a look at your opportunity. People, if you know who you're going to ask and you go directly to them and say, hey, are you open? If you are, great. If not, no big deal. And I should definitely add that to it. Don't take it seriously, as in, if somebody says no, now's not a good time, don't keep insisting. Okay, never do that. Just ask if they're open to taking a look. You don't tell them what it is, you don't go into all the details. You just say, hey, are you open? And if they say yes, say, great, I'm going to shoot you over some information, take a look at it. I'll follow up with you. I'm not going to go too much into sponsoring skills. I'll do a different webinar on that, on how to convert these prospects. But you're going to have to do this in network marketing. There's no way around it. That's the first thing I would do, is be hammering away, inviting every single person I know. Common sense, but you'll be surprised how many don't do that. The other part is passive marketing. This is what most people want to do, but it's very difficult to get to work. And that is where you create people coming to you, right? And that's just random posting on Facebook or Twitter, creating content online and running ads in the hopes that an unnamed individual will respond. Someone, you don't know who, you're just hoping they'll send you the email saying, hey, I want to join. That would be everybody's dream to have that every day. People, I want to join, I want to join. Well, I experience it now. Okay. When I first started, no way anybody's going to be reaching out to me wanting to join me. Now it happens. Now I can open my email and surprise, I've already made a sale. They didn't even tell me they wanted to join. They just joined. I see that. And the more I do this, the more often I'm seeing it. And sometimes with the biggest packages, they're buying the biggest packages, and now I got to reach out and talk to them. So active marketing is where we're going to start. But we're also going to keep passive marketing in mind, because we want to reach that point eventually. And if you follow the blueprint really aggressively, sometime in the upcoming 2019, when 2019 starts, if you started on January 1st doing this blueprint here, by summertime, you've got people reaching out to you. And in the meantime, you've got a team. You're building your team. And I'll explain more as we go. But that's active marketing, passive marketing. Understand the difference. It makes a big deal. Active is the best way to build a network marketing business. And it's also the only way. You could do it only active. I don't know anybody who's done nothing but passive marketing and was successful. Does that make sense? Active marketing, lots of people are successful. They don't even bother with passive. They just do active every day. I like to do them both because I want to build a business, but reach that point where they're coming to me eventually. So the first thing I would do is create a schedule. Another thing you would think is common sense, but many people don't have this. And creating a schedule will increase your productivity. You need to know exactly what you're going to be doing every single minute of the day. If you're on Facebook and you don't have an actual plan other than I'm going to go in there and post and try to get somebody to join my team, right? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make a post. And then you wind up, before you know it, 15 minutes have passed and you've been looking at videos and reading what other people are up to, checking on friends and things like that. And you've wasted a big block of time. If you know exactly what you got to do and you've got a certain amount of things to do before a specific time and you're focused on that, what happens is the random getting caught up in the mix doesn't happen, and you're way more productive this way. When you create a schedule, you want to have a specific time for prospecting, a specific time for posting, a specific time for everything, even checking your email. You check your email between this time and at this time, and by this, let's just say 7 a.m., you're checking your email. By 7:15, you're done with email. If you didn't get them all, too bad. You'll get them later tonight. You have to, by 7:15, make, whatever. Everybody's schedule's different, but make sure you pin it down to every single action at the time, and you'll be surprised how much you can get done this way. So, number one, I broke my blueprint down in three sections. And the first section is active prospecting. This is where when I got 24 signups in under 3 weeks, it was active prospecting. It was a lot of prospecting. It was one after the other after the other. I didn't know these people, I had a name, a phone number, and that was it. They did not raise their hands and say they were interested or anything. I just started calling them. I knew a specific thing about them. They were a genealogy lead, and I knew what company they were in. And I was just calling them saying, hey, are you open to trying a new company in a new opportunity? And I think I had 120. I made 125 calls, called 125 people, something like that, or reached 125. Out of the 125, I wound up with 20 of them signing up. And out of that 20 signing up so quick, it created warm market to join, et cetera, et cetera. So let's get in with active prospecting. How do we get at least 10 people every single day to talk to? And you need to make a minimum on your schedule. Like, you have to hit 10 people within a specific time. You have to reach out to them. It's going to make a difference. I would go for 20 a day. I do know a guy that did 20 a day. What was it? No, he did 20 no's. And so in other words, if somebody said they were open, it didn't count. He had to have 20 people rejecting. And that's when he quit prospecting for the day. By month 7, he was making $50,000 a month. So you just think about that. If you could do it for 7 months, get 20 people to say no for 7 months, 7 days a week, for $50,000 a month, I mean, it starts to make sense. The first thing I would do, I'm brand new, right? I'm going to reach out to my warm market, the people I know, the people I come in contact with. I'm not going to go and call them up and tell them about the company and all the good stuff. This is important, I'm only reaching out to them to see if they were open to looking at something, to what it is I'm doing. And then if they are, I'm going to send them my company's presentation, my company's, whatever procedure your company sends prospects through. It could be a video, it could be calling a phone line and listening to an audio. Either way, that's all I'm going to do. If they are, I'm sending it. If they're not, no worries. But the reason I want to reach out to warm market first is because I want to plant the seed. I want to plant that seed in their mind that I'm doing something. I would expect warm market for most people to be all no's. Some may get 1 or 2, but for most people, all no's. And it's because they know you. That's why. Cold market, totally so much better. Cold market's where you're going to hit your success, but warm market, plant the seed, because down the road it's going to come in handy. So I would knock them out in the first day or maybe day or two, but I'm going to go through my warm market list as quickly as possible. Then I'm going to jump on the genealogy leads. Genealogy leads, I could do 10, 20 people a day, no problem. Give me 5, 6 hours, 10, 20 people, not a problem. Considering a lot of people, I'll be leaving messages, et cetera, et cetera. Now I have software to leave my message for me. I just made a message, I hit a button, I can move to the next. But I'm pretending like I don't even have that. So I want to shoot for no less than 10. If I do well and I hit 10 people that I prospected and got a decision, a yes or no, they're open to looking, I can either try for a few extras, but if my time's running up, I'll move to, what's next on the list. But genealogy leads are powerful, and I'll explain here in a little bit why I would use genealogy leads. And I would absolutely avoid those what they call business opportunity leads. They're like $3, $4, $5 a piece, and supposedly they filled out a form and they said they're interested in starting a business. I will never use those again. Social media is another way. To me, if you hit somebody up on social media and ask them through a message, hey, are you open? And they say, yeah, and you send them a link and they look at it, that is the same as if you got them on the telephone. Now, the telephone does have it builds the relationship much better, speaking to somebody on the phone, but it's still considered, I hit one of my 10 or one of my 20 I needed that day. I got a decision from somebody, because massive action is what this is about. So social media would be another way to do it. And then, of course, when the time comes, and I'm about to get into that, but when you're going to hit a time using this formula here, where prospects from advertising and other methods are going to start popping up, like watching a video, leaving their name and number, things like that. And those are the ones we're going to go out to first when we get to that point. But right now we don't have that, okay? So we're doing the active prospecting. We're starting from the beginning. We're going to hit 10, 20 people every day. Come hell or high water, it's going to be done. But when you get into advertising, I would say do them first, because there's a higher possibility. They already got an idea of what it is. They've got some interest. They're it's more possible that they would be open and joining. Now, as we do this, I would definitely be adding anybody I meet through any of these methods, warm market, genealogy leads. If I talk to them on social media, or if they come from an ad, I'm going to put them on a mailing list. If I had to pick one tool to have, it would be the autoresponder. If I couldn't have any others, I would have the autoresponder. You want to build a list, and everything we're going to go through on the next two sections and beyond, you want to add them to a list. So if you've got people who said yes, and then when you went to call them, like they said yes, they want to join, you got to call them, couldn't reach them, that's going to happen. Put them in a specific list. People who said yes, but didn't ever show when I called them the second time. If they said, now's not a good time, but, come back to me later, they're going to go on a list. If they said yes and they join, they go on a list. And I'll keep them separated by what activity or, what interest level they have. And, build 4 or 5 lists of names and just add people throughout your career. Just keep adding it, get emails, slapping people on there, because eventually it becomes thousands of people. You write one email, you send it out, you got a huge response, somebody joins the team and you can send out an email. Hey, so-and-so joined my business. Have you, are you still busy? Have you thought more about it? We're booming over here. Imagine hundreds of people who were exposed to that opportunity that didn't join, and then they see that, and I mean, you got multiple people in a day wanting to join because they're seeing these emails. So always be building a list on the internet and internet marketing, even in network marketing. The list is where the money's at. That's true. The list is where the money's at. Think of it as your customers. You know, the people that walk in your store, that's your list. Those are people who just shop, people who buy product only, people who join any opportunity you want to join. They just want to join it because you are. Keep it all separated. So active prospecting, most important part of building a network marketing business. Now I know it's also the scariest for many people, and you know the rejection and stuff like that scares them, but you're going to have to do it. You know, at least to get some success, some results going. Now the second part here, this is the part most people love, which is advertising. Let me get a sip of my water here. But when you're advertising, you got to have some type of advertising going. This is part of what I did to get 1 to 3 signups. Okay, I hit no less than 10. I did no less than 10. There was days where I talked to 30, prospected 30 people, and a lot of them were coming in through the advertising, and it got to where that's mostly what I was calling people from ads. But I want to go through some advertising methods that I used, and I want to give you a few tips on each one so you can use it too and start getting these same results. But advertising, I would say always, always, always have at least one form of paid advertising going at all times. Free advertising, it doesn't produce much. I have gotten signups from free advertising. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's a slower process. It's a lot of time. But if you really are on a really, really short budget, you can't even afford to do $10 a week or $10 a month, and free advertising is all you have, then do as much of it as you can. I mean, it would only make sense. But if you can put your time into more productive advertising, such as paid advertising, do that over anything. Now, my number one sign up advertising for the company I'm with was Craigslist. We had created a template. Now, Craigslist is cheap and affordable advertising, anywhere from $7 to, I think New York City was like $45. I mean, 45 was the highest, and that would run for a month, an ad for a month, right? That's not bad. Usually on, I ran a few 35, like Atlanta was $35, but it would spit out in the first week probably 10 leads a day, and by the end I was still getting 1 or 2 a day from the ad, and signed up many people. But what we did is we created a template. We tested things and we found a template that really worked at generating leads. And as people joined, we would pass the template on and say, hey, it's super easy. You know, pick a city, use this template. And that's how we started creating duplication. You see, the idea is not to make your team members experts at anything. Just show them an easy way to get leads and work, you know, help them work with the prospects. I did some calls for downline, you know, where I'd call the leads for them. They're new. All they got to do is just get a couple of people every month and then help those couple of people. If you keep it simple, it actually duplicates. It's when you try to overdo it, I guess you could say. Craigslist ad was the number one way the most people got the results, and we got a lot of people on the team. So consider what I just said. If you create a template, as you sign people up, as people join through Craigslist or through other methods, have a template for duplication. You'll be glad you did, and before you know it, you got Craigslist ads in every city across the country, and it's not coming out of your budget. Does that make sense? And then you can, instead of competing and putting an ad in the same city as your team members, you just let them have it. They purchase the ad, they keep that city, you move on to something else, which I would say solo ads. Solo ads is the second way of advertising. I ran, what was it, 1 to 4 solo ads a month. Sometimes it was weekly, but I, always had at least 1 to 4 Craigslist ads a month and 1 to 4 solo ads a month going at all times. And it produced 1 to 3 signups a week, like clockwork. Solo ads, the key to this is, believe it or not, just let the vendor that you purchase from, let them make the swipe copy. And if you're wondering what's the swipe copy, that's just the message in the email, the subject line and the message of the email. And the reason I say let the vendor do it is because the vendor, it's their list, it's their email list. And a solo ad is just that. You pay somebody to email their list that you should be building of your own. Like I mentioned earlier, you're paying them to send out an email to their list and to send that email traffic to whatever site you have. And if you got a good landing page, to capture leads, you'll get a lot of leads from a solo ad. I found a vendor really, really affordable. I think I paid $80 and got over 50 leads, like 50 opt-ins into my network marketing company. I mean, you can really make some magic this way. So solo ads is really simple. You don't have to learn anything. Craigslist and solo ads, there's no learning curve. That's why I use those for my downline. If they want to run ads, those are my 2 favorite ways to have downline advertise, because somebody else kind of does the hard work. Now, there is also social media advertising. I have used it. I do plan on using it a lot in 2019. However, I don't know how a way to make it duplicatable. So it's kind of like I don't request my team members to do it. If they choose to, that's fine. It is effective. It works. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. And that's what I don't want. I want their advertising to be effective. But if you know a lot about social media advertising, that's a powerful way to go about it. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, etc. I will be using it and learning more about it in the upcoming year, and maybe share some things I learn on a future webinar. You can also do banner and text ads. There's another way to advertise if that's the way you want to go. Okay. And if you're watching this as a recording, I'll put these resources down below in the description. But if you're here live right now, I'll send out these resources as soon as the recording goes out, and I'll show you, some resources where you can put banner ads and text ads and etc. However, you always want to split test them. Don't just put up an ad and go with it. Try few different versions and go with the one that produces the highest results. Which one is getting the most opt-ins? Which one is getting the most signups, etc. I do know a place to run text ads that did phenomenal, and I'll share it with you. You could actually get some for free there. You can do them for free, or you can buy them if you want more. But that's another form. And then, of course, in 2019, I will be producing the PPC ads. Google, I'll stay away from. They're super expensive, but I do have an upline using Bing right now. Bing ads, like when people type in on the search engine a specific, let's say if you use the keyword, whatever your products are, when people go on those search engines searching for information about your product, your ad pops up, and whoever's willing to pay the most to be popped up will pop up. So it can get expensive if you don't know what you're doing, but it is an option, and I've seen some people have phenomenal success with that style of advertising. So if that interests you, suit yourself and head out for it. But I wouldn't recommend it for teaching your team members. Stick to the Craigslist and solo ads. You'll be glad you did. So advertising is real important. Make sure you have at least one of these methods running at all times. It makes a difference. And now the third section, and I hope this stuff's resonating with you guys, and you're getting a lot of good value from this, because it absolutely works. And if I could start over again, this is exactly how I'd be doing it. Okay. The third section is content. Now, when I talk to people, over the phone, let's say they join my team or something, and they're like, well, all right, how do I start getting some signups? The first thing I tell them is, just start asking people if they're open to looking. And they're like, well, I don't like to do that. Is there what I want, people to reach out to me. It's like, all right, well, how about, you could run some ads, got Craigslist, solo ads. You'll get a lot of leads that way. Yeah, but if they don't sign up, I don't want to lose any money. Yeah, and by the way, that will happen if you run ads. You're going to lose money on some of them you won't, but you want to stay consistent because it'll eventually become profitable. And then I mentioned videos, writing content. And of course, then it's, I don't want to be on camera, or I don't think I can type good. So if I get shunned on all three of them, then I don't know what to tell you, because these are the three areas that work. And content, there's a trick to it. Content, and hopefully you got some pen and paper here. I should have told you that in the beginning. Make sure your content is valuable, and it's not, when you write content, don't write content that is about what you want the reader to do. Like, don't be this join now and all, where the whole post is about how great the company is and join now and sign up now and all that. Write content where the reader gets what they want. For instance, how to do something, tips on getting better at something, a review of a product, valuable information. If you write valuable information, you will get readers and build an audience. And the idea is, you can't just write a blog post and publish it and expect anything to happen. You have to do it consistently, over and over and over and over, every day, and it will begin to work. So I'm going to go through some examples. For instance, another very successful person I know who made a commitment that they would write one blog post every day for 365 days. They were told it ain't going to work because you don't have an audience. They ignored it, and they started writing a blog post every day for 365 days in a row. By the end of that year, their blog was making them about $3,000 a day. $3,000 a day, because they were putting out another valuable blog post every single day. So keep that in mind. That's why you want to create content. First off, the best way to go about content is to have your own personal blog. If I were brand new, late at night when I couldn't prospect or make phone calls, let's just say it's too late to call anybody, or it's too early in the morning, I would be working on my own personal blog. I have one now, but I'm just saying, I would start that. I would definitely get into that really quick and be focused on adding a new post as maybe once a week or so, or every day if possible. Number two, you can do videos. Videos really attract people to you. If you're doing a video and you create a YouTube channel, you can build consistent customers coming your way. I actually had taught a lady that was on my team. I told her about videos. Now she wanted to do it at her own thing, her own way. And I told her, that's great. Just the best tip I can give you is just keep making them, one after the other, after the other, after the other, because Google and YouTube is going to start recommending your content to the viewers, and you'll start being discovered. And that's exactly what she did. She did a video every single day. A couple of months later, I went and checked, she'd sent me an email. I was on her list. She sent me an email with a video. And I remember in the beginning, 2-3 views. And then here it is just a couple months later, and a video that's been up for about 2 days has over 600 views. It's catching on. And I told her, I said, hey, you're doing great. Just keep it up. This looks, what did you do anything special? She said, no, I just did what you said. I just keep making them. And really, that's the idea. Just keep making them. Keep writing the blogs. Keep making the videos. They start producing. It's not instant, but it really works. And with me, every time I put up a new blog post on my actual website, I will always include a video. I will make a video that is congruent with the content. That is doing two things at once. I'm building my YouTube channel, and I'm putting more value into my blog, and it helps people stay. They watch the video, and they kind of, help one another to do better. So those are the two most powerful ways I know you can create content. However, there's also article marketing. Highly recommend this. I do this every day. Article marketing, I'm like consistent as all get out. And that's where you're using another platform's audience. You're writing content for another website that's already got an audience, and they can find your content. I mean, that's so magical. LinkedIn is a great example. You can write articles on LinkedIn, and there's thousands or millions of people on LinkedIn that can see that article. And believe me, when I write an article, if I have a blog post as well in a video, I'll put that video in the article that I put. Why not boost the views to the video and have it rank higher on YouTube? So article marketing is really powerful. If you do it every day consistently, you'll start building a following. You'll start having people reach out and say, hey, I read your article. I learned so much. I was really interested in joining you and working with you on this business. I see that a lot. I see it a lot because of the content. I've just kept making it. Audio marketing is another thing, and I've done a little bit of this. I haven't been as consistent with it as I probably could be. The top three I'm pretty consistent with, but you could do podcasts, but I've been using SoundCloud, and I've got some tracks there where I just make an audio and I'll add it to my blog, kind of embed it into the blog just to give it more, more things for people to look at, to read, to listen to, and to help my blog gain authority. These videos and these audio tracks really do give your blog more authority, meaning Google and YouTube and all them will recommend them to the people searching for what you've written about. This is how we're going to start building that following coming back. So that's another way of doing it. One of the most effective ways of doing content are live broadcasts, such as like webinars. What I'm doing now, webinars are powerful. They're live. People show up, they get information. You can do offers, all kinds of stuff. You can use webinars to get people signed up on your team, etc. Facebook Lives, if you like Facebook and you like doing live videos, just start doing a Facebook Live every single day. Just do it and stay in your niche. Like if you're in the weight loss industry, talk about weight loss on your Facebook Lives, more tips on weight loss, how to lose weight, share an exercise, anything that will attract people to you, start seeing you as the authority and reaching out, asking you, hey, where do I get that product you mentioned? But if you make your Facebook Lives about how great your company is every day, you're probably not going to be building a audience. You got to put something in the content to make people want to watch it first. Periscope is Twitter's version of Facebook Live, and of course YouTube Live. And by the way, I'm on YouTube Live right now. See, I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'm doing a webinar. I've got a ton of people registered watching tonight. And there's YouTube. It's running on YouTube Live. I have no idea how many people are there. Okay. I don't know. I can't see it. I got my screen share on, but I'm doing it two things. Okay. Same way with the video on the blog. And just stay consistent with your content. Share what you learn. Share these things. you will start driving people to you. And that is the overall gist of the blueprint. That's how I do it. And I'm about to package it all together for you in one simple overview. But most importantly, you got to remember to schedule this out. Number one, you got to set time to hit how many ever, you know your limit. Can you do 10 a day? If you could do one a day, if that's where you got to start, then do that. You're going to prospect one person every day. As you get better, do 5, do 10, do 20, but always set a time out to talk to people. Nothing in this world will get you more signups into your business than that personal touch, like reaching out and making that connection. Because I want to tell you this, I'll share this with you real quick. People get tons of emails, right? They're getting tons of emails of join me, join me, join me. And they see these emails all the time, all these names, they forget even how they opted into it. And they have no face for it. They have no voice for them. If you're the one that reaches out and calls a prospect that, say, responded to an ad that you're running, and you talk to them for a minute, your email now stands out. If they are to jump into an opportunity, 9.99% of the time, they're going to choose you because they feel like they know you. Well, they don't feel like it. They do know you. They know you as a person. They know your voice. They know your face. They know you. They don't know the others. And when you're in a time where 99% of marketers don't call prospects, you've got a huge advantage to gain the trust and the likeness of all these people. But you got to schedule it out. If you don't schedule your day, you will spend too much time thinking about what you got to do. Like, I don't know if I should do my email. Let me go back to my email, see if something come in. Oh, my Facebook post. Let me go post that. Oh, I should send a tweet. You'll be all over the place, not really getting anything done. So I would, do the emails right off the bat, check them, make sure nobody needs to be replied to, move to, maybe setting up your social media posts, get into prospecting, focus in the beginning on mostly prospecting. I mean, if you did nothing but prospecting all day, you can do 1 to 3 a day. I mean, 1 to 3 a week, easy. After a few weeks, you'd fill that pipeline up so much. But just remember to schedule your day. That's the most important part. And as a matter of fact, those who don't will not get near as much done as those who do. Now, I want to share a little cool trick with you here. I've used this. I remember I was kind of debating if I should even bring this up. But this is a pretty cool trick you can do if you have a binary. If you're in a network marketing company without a binary, this is kind of obsolete. Doesn't matter. I mean, this will do you no good. But if you have a binary or any type of pay plan that goes off of a binary, then this is a cool thing you can do. All right, let's pretend like Mary signs up. And by the way, I've done this, okay? This does work. Mary signs up. You're starting to get your prospect, you're prospecting every day. You have your ads running and you build content at night, right? Okay. Mary signs up through one of those 3 areas, and that's great. At this point, you've probably got 20, 30 people that said that they were interested, just haven't signed up yet. I mean, that's probably the truth. So many people do that. So what you do is you write her information down on paper. If she did it on her own, it's not going to work. But if you were on the phone with her and she says, oh, I want to get started, here's my credit card, all the information you need, here's the 16 digits. And by the way, don't be afraid to get somebody's credit card number. I've never understood that. I'll ask them for, all right, give me the 16, let's go. I don't see why people are, so hesitant on asking. I guess I get it, but don't be that way. So you get her information, you got it written down on paper. And the first thing you do, now that you know Mary's going in, you're going to be putting her information in for her and putting her into the team. you start calling your fence sitters. The fence sitters, quote, are the people who said, yeah, I'm going to join. I'd like to join. And then they, ghost you or whatever. You don't hear from them for a while, or they didn't show up and, it's been a couple months or whatever. Or they do show up, but they've never committed, Like, yeah, I think I want to get into that one day. Yeah, I'm still thinking I'd really like to get into that. I want to start calling them up, right? And I'm going to let them know that Mary has signed up. I'm going to be like, hey, Mary, this lady, Mary, she's a school teacher. Okay. Yeah, Mary, the school teacher, she signed up today in my in the business with me. And I think she's going to do phenomenal. She's a school teacher. She's really excited and pumped about doing this. But, I talked to you first about it, and I just wanted to reach out because I think it wouldn't be fair if I didn't, and let you know if you can get started today, I'll put Mary under you to where you can benefit off that volume too. All right. Well, now that person has a good reason to join. They're going to start off with a person in their business. So if you got a binary, you can do that because you can place it under them and it counts to everybody under you. So yeah, it really does influence, or I guess you could say, and makes it more interesting, beneficial to join now. And deadline involved. If you include that deadline, oh, you're powerful. So anyway, let's just say, Tom, you call Tom, you tell him about Mary. He says, yeah, he joins. Well, what do you think you should do after that? You're going to call more, and you're going to call all your fence sitters. That's what I would do. I wouldn't even be worried about new people. Once I get somebody, every time I get somebody signed up, I'll stop looking for new people and start calling all my fence sitters and saying, hey, John, look, today's been a big day. This lady, Mary, the school teacher, she got started. Tom, he's a veterinarian, and he's joining the team today. But you know what? It would only be fair if, since I talked to you first, give you the chance. If you're still wanting to join, today might be a good day, because if you can get in today, you're going to have 2 people underneath you right off the bat. And then it becomes 3, and then it becomes 4, then it becomes 5. You see how that can just roll on until you're out of people. There was a guy, the one I learned this from, got one sign up pretty early that day. By the end of the day, had 5. Just, and then had to put them in order by the agreement, So he had 5 people in a day using this binary. I call it the binary paper trick, but it's just something out there. If y'all guys want to use it, it really works. It really helps to increase your signups, and it's pretty fun to do too. So, as I promised, we're running out down to the last 10 minutes of the hour. So I want to go through how you can get your endless prospects, because you know as much as me. If you have people to talk to every single day, you will build a business. And with this endless prospects, I want to share with you, these are genealogy leads. I prefer genealogy leads. I highly recommend them to my team because you only get 3 types. If you call a genealogy lead, you're either going to hear, A, I'll never do it again, right? I will not get into network marketing ever again. I hated it, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, you'll get some of those. And then you'll get the ones that say, I'm happy where I am. They're in something. They're in, another company, and they're happy where they are. Hey, no big deal. I want to show you what you can do when that happens. And then, of course, there's the others. Yeah, I'm open. You're only going to get those 3. And genealogy leads are my favorite, and I believe they convert so much better than the BizOp leads because, number one, they know and they understand network marketing. Think about it. You're calling someone who understands it, not someone that is going to be like, is this a scam? Is this a pyramid? You don't hear that, with genealogy leads. It's, oh, how long have you been? They'll talk about it with you. They'll be like, oh, I used to love it. I'm in real estate now. I can't get into anything else, but keep my name and number. You'll get all kinds of stuff. They know and understand network marketing. It makes the conversation more interesting, number one. Number two, they are more likely to join new opportunities. They've already proven they'll join network marketing, right? Because they've been in one before. Think about it. Imagine if you knew for a fact every lead you had was a person who has joined something before. They're not scared to do it. Number three, sometimes they even have teams. There is a good example of someone. I want to show you how this person found another individual who he signed up as a genealogy lead. And in 1 week, that guy he signed up brought in over 100 people in a week. So that with genealogy leads, that's the possibilities. You could sign up somebody who just blows it up quick. With BizOp leads, you're getting only people who are brand new in most cases. They're brand new. They don't have a list. They don't have any connections. If you're new into network marketing, as long as you stay consistent with what I just taught about the prospecting, learning your advertising, keep ads running at all times and creating content, you'll have your connections and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger every single day. Not every year, every day, your business will get bigger. So number four, even when they're unrecruitable, meaning they're happy where they're at, they can also use leads themselves, couldn't they? So when you meet people who are in network marketing, but they're in another company and they don't want to leave, maybe they're having a little bit of success, maybe they're new to the company. Well, they could use some leads. They want to build that business. And so having something to offer them can get you some income flowing in from someone who said no to joining your business. You can still make money and have something to build a relationship with for later down the road, possibly them joining or, just building a relationship with them and building that connection base. Anyway, I'm talking with genealogy. If you want to know how you can get these genealogy leads, I can tell you this. I do know of a place that sells like big amounts of them, but they usually run, I think the cheapest you can get is about $200, $300 for, a few hundred of them. And you work those leads and you get what you get. If you got any signups or didn't, it doesn't matter. If you want more, you got to buy them again. And that's the way BizOp leads are. You buy 100, you work them. Maybe you did good, maybe you didn't. Doesn't matter. You have to buy them again. And it's harder to get an ROI when you're having to, invest and invest and invest over and over. So if you do have bad batches, tough luck. And if you do have good ones, well, it makes it easier. But anybody in network marketing knows you're never, ever going to have all good ones. You're going to get your bad batches, okay? So where can you get them? The best way to get them, the way I recommend them, is the MLM Recruit on Demand system. I know some of you on this webinar tonight already have this system, but for those of you who do not, I'm going to go through it a little bit, show you why I highly recommend this and how it can really, really help you to build your business. It's only $15 one time. It's not hundreds or thousands of dollars. $15 just once, and you own the system. Okay, keep that in mind. Just $15 one time, and what you get for the 15 is you get unlimited leads for the rest of your life, dropping at 100 at a time. So when you get your 100 leads and you work them, you got to sign up or you didn't. Doesn't matter. You don't have to pay the $15 again. You just say, hey, I need more leads. They send you another 100. They send you another, and this goes on. You can do it every day. You could work 100 a day if you want. It's fine. As long as you're working them and you leave the notes, it'll have a little selection of what to pick. You just select, they said no, left a message, select the note. And as long as those notes are on there, they'll send you another 100. And it just randomly, the system will randomly generate them. So Yeah, you can get some good ones, you can get some bad ones, you get disconnected numbers, you get all kinds of stuff. But it's $15 one time, and you can always hit your 10 prospects a day or 20 if you're trying for that. Also, for those that are interested or are happy where they're at, or if you talk to other network marketers online, you can, or your team members, if you want, they want to get prospects, you can refer them to the system. You'll get the $15. If someone buys the system from you, you get the $15. And that's pretty, to me, that's pretty amazing that the creator of the system doesn't even get the 15. You get the whole thing. So it's a good reason to promote the system. If you run into people who are happy where they're at, you know, they're, most of them are always, yeah, I want more leads. You know, so you usually get $15 for every prospect that says they're happy where they're at. You also get highly responsive lead capture pages. I will, to be honest with you, their lead capture pages have produced me more leads than anything else. It's the offer. I mean, think about it. A network marketer needs leads, $15. He never needs leads again. That's a huge problem solved for a very low amount of money. So yes, they opt in to look at it. So when you generate a lead, this is helping you build your list. It's helping, because self-generated leads are the highest converting. They're better than genealogy leads. If you generate the lead, it's basically them saying, I have a very strong interest. So each lead you generate, you will get 5 spit at you, you know, genealogy leads, just random genealogy leads sent to you for every one you generate. So think about that. For promoting the system, even if that person doesn't buy, you'll get 5 leads. And that's 5 more people that are a possible yes to looking at the business. You got to look at it that way. Now, you also get a Google search tool in with the system, meaning you can look for specific companies, specific cities, you know, even specific professions like veterinarians in Atlanta, Georgia, you know, or doctors in St. Louis or whatever, you know, you make up the decision. But I'll sometimes look for specific professions like veterinarians because I've had so much success and duplication through having veterinarians on my team. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start talking to veterinarians, you know, because they do so good in network marketing. So you'll get the Google search tool to help you find those, a daily calculator to calculate, like, you know, how many calls am I making per presentation? So you'll basically come out with how much you're making per call. Like, am I getting $2 every time I pick up the phone and make a call on average, or what? It's pretty cool. And one of the best features is it will promote your network marketing business to everybody you refer. Not too long ago, I had someone join my team through the system who he had bought it from me like 2 years ago. But here it is, 2 years later, he joins my team through looking at it in the system. When you have the system, it'll ask you for your business, and you can put whatever presentation you want in there, and anybody you refer can just, you know, anytime they want, they can hit a button out of curiosity to see what company are you with, you know. So and that can help you to get signups of network marketers. So that's what you get for $15. There's some other stuff in there, but that's, like, to me, the best part of it. And then if you want to promote the system and earn a lot of extra cash on top of your network marketing business, then there is an upgrade. It's called the P2, and it's a $125 one-time payment. And this is what you get with it, okay? You get 200 leads instantly. They're going to drop instantly, so that'll give you 300, because you got to do P1 first, 15, and then if you want to upgrade, which I highly recommend it. You will not regret it. You'll get 200 right off the bat for a total of 300. You know, you got 300 to work with. That'll keep you busy for a day or two. You can receive $100 for every upgrade you refer. So if you refer someone to the system, let's say they're in another company, you call them up, they're happy where they're at. They say, yeah, they need leads. They buy the system from you, and then they upgrade for 125. You get 100 of it. a lot of people do upgrade because it's a one-time payments are easy to get. Okay. I mean, you get the commission once, that's it. I know, but they're easy to make because they're one-time payments. It's the monthly reoccurring payments that are take a little more effort to get, but of course, they're sweet to have when they're coming into you. And also, you'll receive $100 for every person you refer if they refer someone who does upgrade, but they didn't. And yes, I have received. I've gotten emails that were saying, "Hey, you received $100 from so and so," and I look and I'm like, "Who is this person? I don't know who they are. Never seen them. And why didn't I get the 15?" And then I realized, like, oh, that's right. Somebody I sold the system to referred them, and they upgraded, but the guy that I referred didn't. So they don't get the 100. So if you're only interested in building your network marketing business with MLM Recruit on Demand, there's no point in upgrading. Okay. But if you want to make the commissions and make more commissions and have a few extra benefits, then yes, you do want to upgrade. It's worth it. And last but not least, the leads will drop faster the higher the level you are. I mean, they just come in quicker because I guess, they're sending those who are on the highest levels the leads first and then dropping them down. But like I said, if you're not interested in promoting the system yourself and making money on it, there's no need to upgrade. Just do the 15. Now, the last option this system allows is incoming calls. I do know a lot of people love the incoming calls. Now, in order to get incoming calls, it's $97. It's a monthly reoccurring fee. You do not get affiliate commissions on that. This is for the select few that want to do it. But you have to be at P2 level in order to get the incoming calls. And then you move up to P3, they call it, $97 a month. You get 3 to 5 calls coming in every single day. This is 3 to 5 people who will call you every day who for a fact you got somebody who has been in network marketing at one point or another calling you. Okay, so there was the creator of the system. I did speak to him in person one day, and after seeing him on a famous network marketing blog, right? He signed up 190 people in 3 months. 190 people, and that's huge. And he had it bumped up. Now, keep in mind, he's the creator. He's not paying. He probably paid a fortune to have it built, but he had it bumped up to about 15, 20 people a day. Okay. He did tell me if someone is interested in having that amount of people, absolutely you can. It's going to cost more, but he'll set it up for you to receive massive amounts of incoming calls. I mean, you'll be busier than a operator, an AT&T operator in 1950. So you can do that if you want. It's up to you, but 3 to 5 is usually what most people can handle, get a few signups a month off of it. But me, I stay mostly at the P2 level because I don't mind making the calls myself. I don't mind being the one to reach out first. So you also receive all the benefits of the P2 level if you decide to go all the way. And if you want to hit your numbers and hit these prospects and build 1 to 3 people a week, you're going to have to be prospecting. I highly recommend the system, and that is how you get leads. Now, look, what I'll do is if you're watching the recording, I'll leave a link below. If you're interested in the system, when we get off this webinar, you're going to be redirected. We're about to close up, and I'm going to redirect you to check out the system. That's going to happen at the end of the webinar. But if you're watching the recording, just look below. There's a link in the description that will take you to the system. So with that said, guys, let's just do a really quick overview, wrap this up. I really, really hope y'all got a lot of value from today, learned some new things. But number one, remember, schedule every single part of your day. If you're not scheduling it and planning it out, I'm telling you, you're not going to produce the same as you would if you schedule this. You schedule it, you're going to produce a lot. You're going to get a lot of production done. You got to actively be prospecting daily. That is part of 1 to 3 signups a week. If I had not been actively reaching out to people, either through genealogy leads or people that responded to some ads I ran, and of course, some of it did come through the content. Don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna lie. But any lead I generated through the content, I reached out, and that is what helped me to hit 3 a week on average. If I got a lot of phone numbers, I'd be about at 3. If I didn't, I would have about 1, So it's really how many people you can prospect. The advertising and the content, it's only there to give you better people to prospect, to talk to build a relationship with. That's the key. You have to be making connections, right? So always prospect daily. Keep it no less than 1 paid advertising source running. Every day, a paid ad needs to be going. A Craigslist ad, a solo ad, a social media ad, text and banner ads. This keeps new, fresh faces coming in. If you ever quit with new people coming in, or the only other way you have to do it is to reach out to strangers through genealogy leads or whatever. And if you don't do that, then you're not making any business. There is no other way to make it happen without you running an ad, creating content, or reaching out. So make sure you create new content in some type of form. It can be video, it can be blog, article, doesn't matter. But if you do it every day, you work, I assure you, it's going to feel pretty painful in the beginning. Like, this is my 100th article. I've never got a lead. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's going to start producing. As long as you're doing value-driven content, you got to make sure your content is value-driven. You're writing what the reader wants to see, not what you want the reader to do. You also need to use affordable advertising for your team members, because when you start building your team, that's when it really starts getting big. My income was growing by like 500 a week. Like next week 500 more, next week 500 more, because I started getting people who would run ads as well. Now I'm getting more prospects, either not through myself, but through more people. I'm starting to spread, and the more people I have running ads, the more our team is growing, the more their money's growing, right? The more prospects they're getting. So use easy, affordable advertising for your team. And if you do have team members that reach out and say, hey, I want to learn this or learn that, that's one thing. But most people can't do, something too big. So keep it simple for duplications purposes. And the most important tip is to stay consistent with everything you're doing. If you stay consistent prospecting, do 10 to 20 a day, keep a paid advertising source running every single day, and create new content every day, 1 to 3 signups a week is, fairly reasonable. To be honest with you, there's no reason you wouldn't hit it after a few months of this, or really even sooner. There's no reason you can't be hitting 1 to 3 signups a week if you did that consistently every day. So guys, that's the overview. So I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, I hope you got some good value. That once the webinar is over, I'm going to end it out. I'm already 13 minutes past the hour. I've overran a little bit, so I won't be doing any Q&A, but I do plan on getting to that kind of stuff down the road. Remember, I'm growing my business just like you are. So with that said, I'm going to close this out. You may see me on your screen for a little bit, but I want to redirect you over to get the system. So guys, I want to say thank you to everybody that came out, and thank you to everybody who made this webinar the most successful registered webinar of all time for me personally. So I appreciate. Oh, and by the way, how many people registered? I don't know. There's so many on each page. I'll get that number out if you're curious. I mean, it is quite a bit. So I had to flip through all the pages and count them. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you all for coming out, and send me an email if you got any questions. Till the next one, bye-bye.